Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Let Me Love You Again by Anna DeStefano, performed by Amy McFadden. To the warriors of the heart who never give up on love. Chapter 1. Oliver Bowman surveyed the spectacle beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows of his midtown Atlanta loft. Disappearing before its setting sun, the dusky sky was a twilight miracle. It made him think of home. Another high-stakes IT project was behind him, his second since he'd returned to the South. He'd conquered a kick-ass gauntlet of anticipated challenges, more than earning the ridiculous hourly rate he'd quoted his client, plus a bonus for juggling last-minute crises and beating his deadline. 2 potential deals were in the pipeline awaiting his next pitch, one in Seattle, the other in Toronto. Within the hour, he'd pull the trigger on his top prospect. And he would land it, beating out competing contractors, other guns for hire who'd good-naturedly curse him in their congratulatory emails. By the 1st of next week, he'd relocate. There'd be no time to focus on anything but work. But tonight, staring at his sunset view after a nerve-settling run through town, there was nothing to distract him from looking back, from wanting to go back, if for no other reason than to silence the question he couldn't stop himself from asking. What did it say that all these months he'd lived and worked only miles away from the foster family he'd crashed out of at 18? Yet no one from 7 years ago knew he was back, except for Travis, the foster brother Oliver had been closest to. He was focused on the right things, he reminded himself, and working his ass off to make those things possible. Dwelling on the past was a pointless distraction for a man who made his not inconsiderable living grinding out the day-to-day present. His demanding career fed his drive to compete and achieve. It kept him on track and freed everyone else to focus on what they needed to, including his foster parents. It kept quiet, nostalgic nights like tonight to a minimum. He'd just ridden the elevator up after jogging through the streets heavy with May's suffocating humidity. The temps in Georgia weren't what got to you this time of year. The moisture in the air, rain or shine, made you think you needed a snorkel to breathe.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?